it's always cool to hang around people that's not comedians. But I ain't gonna lie, me personally, I can't hang around nobody that's not funny, that don't make me laugh. Like I like hanging around people that make me laugh, because I get tired of making everybody laugh every now and then. I just want make me laugh. Every time I tell somebody I'm a comedian, they be like, "Oh, you a comedian? Make me laugh." Yeah, tell me a joke. No, you tell me one, motherfucker. I just did 30 minutes. Yeah.
Welcome to the Pixel Cinema.
Yeah.
I'm Bree, your host, or Elle Marie. I have a lot of different names. But today we have a very special guest.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually a comedian. And I'm super excited for this because comedy is my favorite genre across the whole board. I love to laugh. So today we have Troy Duchane.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Troy, tell us about who you are, what you do, what's the vibes, like what's up?
Okay, so I am a stand-up comedian, entertainer. I've been doing comedy for 6 years. Born, raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Started doing comedy in New Orleans. Yeah, I've just been doing comedy for 6 years, and we still at it.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, when did you know you wanted to be a comedian? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or was like this specific moment where, dang, I can actually do this?
I think I realized I really wanted to start doing comedy after I graduated from high school. Like all throughout high school, all throughout school in general, I was a class clown. But it was like, yeah. But and not to brag, but I was like so good at like being a class clown. I never really got put out of class.
Dang.
Never got put out of class. The teachers wanted me around. But yeah, so in high school, like my senior year, I won class clown. I still have my little trophy that says class clown. And all throughout high school, I just kept hearing, "Troy, you need to be a comedian. Troy, you need to be a comedian." So I started doing comedy after I graduated. I reached out to one of my comedic influences, Sub Tweeshawn. He was doing, that's my dog. Shout out to Sub Tweeshawn. He was doing comedy at the time. So I reached out to him, and he told me to reach out to who is my OG, Mark Caesar. Mark Caesar has been doing comedy for a long time, and he was the first person to give me time on stage. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Oh, that's how I started.
That's how I got started.
So is it like you kind of already had mentors before you even needed them? Is that what it's like?
I wouldn't say mentors, but influences for sure. Like locally, Sub Tweeshawn was like the person that I looked up to when it came to doing comedy, because he was going viral almost every time you look on social media. But even mainstream wise, like I used to watch a lot of comedy without even realizing it when I was younger. Like I used to watch the first comedians I used to watch was Jeff Dunham. With he was the comedian that had the he's like a ventriloquist, so like he had the puppets. And this was all on Comedy Central. Gabriel Iglesias, he's a Hispanic comedian. He's known as Fluffy. That's his nickname because he's a bigger comedian. And Kevin Hart those three people was the first comedians that I started watching for real.
That's what's up. I definitely heard of the Spanish guy.
Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy.
And I absolutely love Kevin Hart. Like, I love Kevin Hart from jump.
Me too.
That is so cool. That's so cool. So as far as you being a comedian, I consider you as a creative.
I am.
Yes. So usually a lot of creatives, we tap into other things. Like I touched on it before, but I do like all across the board. Do you have any other mediums that you tap into for fun, for leisure, or something you would want to do professionally as well?
I ain't gonna lie, I really don't. Really? I really don't. Like I feel like I only try to do things that I'm really good at, and I feel like it's not a lot of things that I'm really good at. Like I feel like stand-up comedy is the only like really creative thing I'm really good at. So I try to focus on that and try to be the best I can be at that. But it's a lot of stuff that I do want to tap into, especially when it, as it relates to comedy, like movies, how we was just talking about it. So plan to get into that soon, but
I don't voice acting too.
Voice acting, I want to do that too. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I see when I just get so much money and I just start being bored, I might drop an EP on somebody here, right? I might get into my Eddie Murphy bag. You never know. So, or drop some bars or something, you know. A little freestyle every now and then.
I will replay it in my car. Okay, I got you.
It got to be good though. It got to be good.
It got to be a fire.
It got to be good.
The windows down.
I was in the choir though, so it might be an R&B, it might be a singing EP. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I can't sing for real. I'm lying, but I'm gonna still do it.
Yeah, still try.
I'm gonna still do it. Eddie Murphy did it, so I'm gonna do it.
You know, the sky's the limit. Let's do it.
Hey.
Okay, so I want to touch on you as a comedian. So tell me about your creative process. When do you write? Where do you get inspiration from? Who are you as a comedian? What is that like?
So my writing process, I really like. I don't like to force anything. So when it comes to what inspires me to write, it's just life in general. Like I feel like God puts me in some crazy situations because I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Like recently, I went to a damn swingers convention.
Yo.
And I didn't. And yes, I went to the swingers convention involves comedy. Like it does a comedy show before all the swinging gets to going on. So yeah. Shit, even during the comedy show, like the people that don't have no interest in comedy, they just go swing. Yeah, they just go swing. But you know, after the comedy, because a couple of my peers was on the comedy show, so I went to go support that, and then you know, my partners didn't want to leave, so I just stuck around. I stuck around, and soon I'm working on a joke about it because it was definitely a crazy experience. So it was crazy. Never again. But yeah, I just like to let life like inspire. Like I write every now and then, like, but it's really whenever I'm motivated. Like I think of whenever I really write, it's like a line comes to me, I'll put it in my notes, and I just let the lines just come together. Like I might think of a line for a joke one day, and then a line for a whole another joke, and I just try to let stuff tie into each other. Because when I do specials, I like to let my jokes flow into each other.
Yeah, kind of tell a story.
It's telling a story.
Yeah,
so
from different
So that's how I like to. There's
a method. I especially appreciate comedians who let their work flow. It's not just random joke after joke after joke.
Nah, it all go in.
Story.
Yeah, I like all my stuff to go into each other.
And the way you explain your process, it kind of just reminds me of freestyling. How you just think of a line and then think of another line. That may be the hook or kind of, what is it called? Like the punchline of the joke. Yeah, how it kind of flows. Because
I feel like comedy is like a free form type of art anyway, because when you on stage, and this happens all the time, or even most of the time, when you doing a joke and you say one line or one joke, somebody from the audience might say something that you might can, you know, riff off with them. Like you might can do this crowd work, but it bounce back with them. So that's, I kind of I don't like to seem like my stuff is rehearsed. Like I write, I have material prepared, of course, but I'm always ready for if somebody in the audience have something to say, and maybe it can add on to the joke. It's been plenty of times where I've been at an open mic and a woman says, a woman or a male too has said something, and the audience laughed at it, and I was like, I'm stealing that. I'm stealing. If they laugh, then that means it's funny, and I'm keeping it. Yeah, I'm either say the audience member said it, or I'm gonna say I said it. So,
how they gonna know?
Right.
That actually happened to this past comedy show I went to. Like the crowd was interacting with the comedian. I also like comedians like that, where you interact with the crowd and keep them engaged.
Hell yeah.
One of the ladies wound up telling a joke that kind of compliment his whole vibe of the story. He was like, I'm taking it.
Yeah,
like,
you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. They're not going to use it.
Exactly. They're not
going to use it.
Yeah. Okay, so what inspires you?
To do comedy?
Yes. Is it to make, like, do you see the importance of laughter? Do Do you value that? Like, what inspires you to continue to?
I really do value the importance of laughter. Like, I really just love making people laugh. Because you got to laugh every now and then, because everybody knows life be lifing.
Oh, yes.
Life be life, and so when I'm on stage, and when people come to comedy shows, they come to comedy shows to laugh and to take a break from whatever they got going on in their real life. So I like to be that person that they can laugh at, because I talk about myself when it comes to comedy. So, I really love making people laugh. So that's what really inspires me.
That's what's up. So I actually want to go back to what we were talking about before, in it regards to the audience. Like, what is it like feeling out an audience? So say, for instance, you have the same set in the first crowd, they loved it. And then the second crowd, they just looking at you like, I didn't have those moments. Like, do you switch it up? How do you feel throughout that? Tell me what's up.
When you get those type of moments, like when you just killed, like even when you just killed, and then you have a set where you don't do as good as you normally do, and me personally, I don't like blaming the audience. Like, I'm myself's hardest critic, so it's like, well, if they're not laughing, I just got to be funnier. I got to just figure out a way to make this stuff funnier. But it can be the audience sometimes, but it also, like you said, feeling the room, is it reading the room. Right. If you see they not liking this joke, do another one. If they don't like that joke, do another one. If they not liking the jokes at all, maybe talk to somebody in the crowd. Maybe they want to be talked to instead of talked at.
Right.
So reading the room is definitely important. Definitely.
So how do you successfully read the room but still?
If they not laughing, okay. If they not laughing, that means do something else. Yeah. Do something else.
Still keep the since you say you like to talk in stories, basically. So reading the room, how do you keep it still kind of organized or in like the same ballpark as far as?
I know my material like the back of my hand, and it's because I'm talking about stuff that I know how I feel about it. So I'm gonna find a way to tie it in. It don't matter how much crowd work I done did. I can just do another joke just like that. So it's not really that hard, but it's not easy for a lot of people to do either. Like, when you didn't dig so much crowd work, I didn't heard comedians say, "What was I talking about?"
Oh damn.
They just blank out. But if you don't first, I'm gonna also say that comedians do not do that, because just talk about whatever they paid to see you. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. You don't have to be like, "Oh, what was I talking about?" and my mind went blank. I forgot this. You don't have to do that, because they don't know that. They don't know that.
Exactly.
They don't know that. They think this is all part of the act. So
it's the beauty in creatives. Like, the crowd who are performing before, they really won't know when we mess up. You just gotta keep going.
Keep going.
They don't know the script.
They don't.
They don't know your jokes.
They don't.
They don't know these long pauses are unintentional. So you just gotta keep going with the flow. So we talked about what inspires you, and then you touched on crowd work. So tell me about your style. So you also said that you talk more about your experiences, but also, what else do you do? Do you do impersonations? Do you talk about other people's experiences? I don't want to say political, but do you touch on things that are happening to people overall to stay relevant? What is that like?
I was about to say something so crazy just now, and that was going to be because of the damn whiskey y'all gave me. I was about to say, I don't touch on nothing but myself. I don't do nothing. I don't talk about nobody else. I touch on myself when it comes to comedy. I don't like to talk about politics, because everybody got different political views, and I don't want them to try to, I'm not trying to convince nobody to believe in what I believe in. And when it comes to comedy, I feel like the best type of comedy is talking about yourself, like, because the people are getting to know you. They're not getting to know nobody else. They're getting to know you. So I like to talk about myself when it comes to comedy, because, like I said, I didn't been in some crazy situation. I got funny family members. Like, when I have a special out on YouTube. It's called GotNext, and in a lot of that special, I was talking about my family, but a lot of that, it was still had a lot to do with me because it was my perspective.
You're connected.
It's my family. So yeah, I like to talk about. I like to stay within myself I like to stay within myself when I do comedy.
And I think that's very important. I especially in my Kevin Hart for that. He's one of my favorites.
That's why I do that. I feel like
I know him.
Yes.
Because he talks about his marriages, his kids, like his kid. Hey, was just keep
Yes,
on.
you feel like you know Kevin Hart by listening, by watching his comedy.
Yeah.
He's an open book, and I feel like I like to be honest, and I like to be an open book when it comes to comedy.
Because it's about familiarity.
Relatability, all that. I want people to feel like they know me. Like I love when I'm out and about and people come up to me and be like, "Man, keep doing your thing. Like you funny as hell." Like if people like that, and I get that a lot, and they be like, "Man, you know who that was?" Like I don't know that man from a can of paint. Like, but people feel like they know me, so I love that.
Yeah, that's what's up. It brings you more close.
Hell yeah.
They look forward to seeing you because it's like
they feel like they know me.
Story.
I'm a cousin.
What's the extended version? Like what happened next? At the next family reunion, you know? Okay, so let's see. So what's your community like with other creatives?
Comedians
or just other people, writers, any actors you might know, directors. What's that like, and how do you value community with other creatives in your process and your journey?
I love working with other people. Like I feel like it also helps me become a better person when you work with other people because they might give you an idea or they might inspire you to do something else that you never would have thought to do just by yourself on your lonely. So I love working with other people. I love collabing with other creatives. I like just talking to other people as well.
I especially like that too because like we were talking about earlier, you get to bounce off each other's creativity, see what works, see what doesn't. And like when we get together, it's kind of like time doesn't exist because we're all just in our own creative zone, just working together and seeing what we can bring to the table.
I often encourage with other comedians that, that we hang out, outside of comedy or outside of our creative process. Like, let's just hang out around each other and it's inevitable that you're gonna come up with an idea that you never would have thought about just being by yourself. So hanging around other creatives does inspire great ideas.
You like it enhanced that.
Yes.
Something in here.
That
goes, boom, 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 boom. So I'm glad you touched on that because I want to touch on briefly about friendship. So you say you hang out with other creatives usually. How do you balance that if you're really close friends? Like, are you able to turn off the work mode? And what is that like? Trying to transition it from this is a comedian, this is the other fellow creative to this is just my friend. We got to be talking about.
My friend's funny as hell too. I ain't gonna lie. My friend, like, I feel like whenever I go around my friends, like they know me as the comedian. Like they know I'm funny, but it's like I feel like I get to take a break when I'm around my friends because they funny as hell too. Like I didn't have some jokes inspired by my friends. So I really just like hanging around people in general. So it's always cool to hang around people that's not comedians. But I ain't gonna lie, me personally, I can't hang around nobody that's not funny, that don't make me laugh. Like I like hanging around people that make me laugh because I get tired of making everybody laugh every now and then. I just want make me laugh. Every time I tell somebody I'm a comedian, they be like, "Oh, you a comedian? Make me laugh." Yeah, tell me a joke. No, you tell me one, motherfucker. I just did 30 minutes. Yeah. So I just like I said, I like being around people in general because I do like to observe people and just listen every now and then because you listen, you're gonna hear some stuff that you probably could say to another person or bring on stage. So that's how I go about life in general.
Because when you're talking to people just about random things that inspire something completely unrelated to that conversation, but you can use it as a joke.
Yeah, you have a conversation with somebody one day, and you just going about your day a couple of days later, and you just have a thought like, I probably could tie this into what we were just talking about not too long ago. So it's always good.
That's why me, for instance, I definitely value community, especially when you're creative.
Me too.
It's just important to have that.
You gotta have a community, and I feel like when it comes to the New Orleans comedy scene, I feel like we have a great community because everybody want to see each other win. We hang out a lot. We help each other with jokes. Like we tell each other like maybe you should try like this or try to say this. So it's always good to have a good community within being a creative because you can't. I feel like you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by you ain't gonna be the one coming up with all the good ideas.
Exactly. And executing it all by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. You need a little
right. You need help.
Everybody bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
So how often do you go to comedy shows down here? And would you say that the comedy, I guess, bubble is small in New Orleans? Is New Orleans is small? Like, what is that like?
So I go to comedy shows almost every night. Like it's rare. Like it's 1 or 2 nights. Like the most I stay away from the stage or a comedy show is 1 or 2 nights, and that's mainly because I do comedy full time, so I force myself to go outside. Like like I don't have no reason to be in the house all day.
Right.
So I go to comedy shows every night, even when I'm not booked, and I feel like New Orleans comedy scene it's not small. But it's not big either. I feel like to a regular person, to a non-comedian, the New Orleans comedy bubble is probably small. But when you actually do comedy, it's a lot of us out here. Like it's a lot of comedians out here. I was about to say even people that ain't been doing it for a long time, but would I consider them comedians? Not really. I feel like once you getting booked on a regular, I consider you a comedian. You got to put in work to be considered a comedian, but it's a lot more than you think. It's a lot more of us than you think.
Really?
Like before you went to you just said you went to a comedy show for your birthday and you got to see Lamar Devon. Shout out to Lamar Devon and Jorge Velasquez and all the comedians that you say you saw. But like before that, what other local comedians did you know?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people will give me that answer, but it's a lot of us out here. It's a lot of us.
So basically, y'all are just kind of always out in the scene performing at other comedy shows. So we talked about your homework before.
Yes.
How you watch your tapes and just do notes. Would you consider going to comedy shows when you're not booked, homework as well, or you're just out there to collab?
Hell yeah. I wouldn't consider it homework, but at the same time, it can be because networking is something that you got to do. So like whenever I go to comedy shows with my local comedians, I go sit in. I like my girlfriend pointed this out to me a long time ago, and I always, say this to other people, but it's like whenever we watch comedy specials together, she be like, "You don't laugh at these comedians." I'm like, "They funny," but it's like I'm not watching this to laugh. I'm watching it to learn.
The technique and stuff.
Yes, I'm watching it to learn. So whenever I go to live comedy shows to watch my peers, it's like I'm learning how I can get better. And whenever I go to comedy shows to watch mainstream comedians or people that I look up to on YouTube that I'm watching their clips and see they doing their thing, I'm going to learn. I'm going to see how I can get better, So
not really to be entertained, more.
Not just learn. I'm learning. Yeah, learning.
Yeah,
and I'm being entertained at the same time.
Yeah, it's a double win.
Double win. Yeah.
So you're always in a constant state of learning.
Yes.
That's good. That's really good. Some people may think that once they've mastered this realm or whatever, that it's done. But
it ain't never done.
Even some successful, I could imagine that some successful famous comedians still are learning techniques and still watching other comedians to just always grow.
I feel like you have to. Yeah. I feel like you said, there's always room for improvement. Like I feel like once I'm an older comedian, like I'm 24 years old. I already been doing comedy for 6 years. But I feel like once I'm at that 20 year mark, it's like I feel like I'm definitely feel like I'm gonna be around younger comedians to help first of all keep me young, and and just because I feel like not a lot, but some older comedians probably lose their touch with the audience because they old. Yeah, they old. They have they have older comedians out. Yeah, and of course your audience might be older people, but me myself, I want to be able to make everybody laugh.
Yeah.
No matter what the age is, early 20s, 30s, I want to be able to make everybody laugh. So I feel like you gotta hang around those younger people to remain.
Fresh perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like if you can make multi-generations laugh and
you funny as hell. Yeah, and I want to be able to do that.
Yeah. So you like to be well-rounded.
Yes.
Not kind of confined in a box.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel being a Black comedian there's a box, or do you feel relatively free to kind of tell whatever jokes you want just as a man?
Yeah, I tell whatever jokes I want. Like I have a joke about this dude. I just started working on it. This dude, he sent me a very explicit video of him doing something to another man. I'm not gonna say what it was, but you have to come out and see the show.
You can't just say that.
Yeah, I can't. But I don't want to. Yeah, but it was very explicit. It was very inappropriate what he sent me. But and when you touch on stuff like that, like with the LGBTQ community, like a lot of people probably feel like they can't do jokes about that. But as long as you're not seeming homophobic or offending anybody, you could do a joke about whatever you want as long as it's funny. That's the main goal. The main goal is to be funny. Funny is funny. I mean, it was okay to me, but I heard a white comedian recently do a joke about him thinking he would be a good slave master. See how you laughed at that? I didn't laugh when I heard it. I didn't know whether I should be offended. Yeah, I didn't know if I should be offended. I had to remind myself that I'm at a comedy show and this is jokes. But it was funny. Like I heard people laughing, so funny. Got to be funny.
I feel like there's a thin line between being offensive and being funny when you're telling those very touchy jokes, and that takes true skill. For real, you can make something that would be highly offensive, making people laugh. Like,
you a good comedian.
You got talent.
You good,
bro. You got talent.
But also a lot of comedians don't even try to be funny. They be trying to offend people, and that's where they go wrong at. So, you got to remember the ultimate goal is to be funny, not shock value.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some comedians where they're just a bit too abrasive. They're kind of just too in your face, like, oh, look at you. I'm like, you work the crowd wrong. Isn't that right? Yeah, you work the crowd wrong. Yeah, you want to put them on the wrong side before you even warm up jokes.
Yep.
Let's see what's next. So, what was it like? Well, to me, a very cool experience with meeting a fan.
Meeting a fan. Okay, this was more recent because I have a lot of like experience with people that support us, and this so I hosted a comedy show at Comedy House NOLA. Shout out to Comedy House NOLA. It's the only comedy club in New Orleans. Yeah, so it's the only comedy club in New Orleans, and I was hosting a show over there, and while I think I was outside, I think the show was over. We was just. I think the dude was just taking a smoke break or something because I was hosting a marathon. So the show started at 7 and it ran all the way to like 10:30 or something like that. So we outside just talking and he was like, bro, me and my wife, we watch a lot of comedy. You one of the funniest people I ever like seen live. Me and my wife had dinner reservations. We canceled them just to stay and watch you and the rest of these comedians. I'm like, damn, bro, are you hungry?
Right.
I'm like, you stayed. Like, I love myself, but I'm not skipping eating to laugh. Ain't shit funny when I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I get hangry. Right. Now you ain't funny no more. I'm thinking about I could be eating right now.
I could have been eating.
Right. So that was a funny experience for me.
That's what's
Because I ain't never had, that was one of the first time I ever told, I mean, that was the first time somebody ever told me like they canceled their original plans just to stick around and watch me tell jokes. So that meant a lot to me.
That must have felt really good.
I ain't gonna stop doing comedy just because of that moment. This random white man, and it's on my Instagram too. It's on my Instagram. I had to have proof that this white man told me. Yeah, that man said he skipped dinner
to see me.
Him and his wife had a good old time, so I was happy about that.
That's what's up. So you said before that you're a full-time comedian. So what does your day-to-day look like? What is that like?
I stay in the house all day and try to think about something funny that can possibly go viral. And I still haven't found that thing. I mean, I have videos that go viral every now and then, but not my type of viral where I didn't gain thousands of followers and stuff. Because that's what I really want to have a lot of followers and have those followers turn into ticket sales. So yeah, I really stay in the house and just try to find some good ideas that I can possibly do, whether it's a skit or whether it's a joke that I can work on. And I'm also in the crib watching comedy specials of people that I look up to. That's really what I do all day. And I feel like I couldn't do that if I had a job.
Sure.
And I know people, every time I tell people that, people always say, well, if you get a job, it could fund your career and you probably could have, you probably could come up with some material from that. But I didn't have jobs before, and I mean, those things are true, but it's like whenever I want to go shoot a skit, I can. Whenever somebody need me to do something, I can do it because I'm free.
Yeah.
So I like being free.
Yeah. I feel like that's most creative.
That's why I'm bald. I'm free. I'm lying. I just can't.
Yeah, time is everything because you're more flexible to collaborate
Hell yeah.
with other local creators.
Don't get it messed up though. I do need some money. So I gotta remind y'all that I do need some money. But I am happy at the end of the day. But
yeah.
I am happy.
Yeah. What you do.
Yeah, and that's how I go about life in general. I always see my advice to people is like, find something that you love to do and figure out how to make money from it.
Yeah.
So I like to have fun when I'm doing anything. I like to be happy while I'm doing anything. When I had jobs, I wasn't happy. The money was there, but
it's something like
right. I'm working at Dollar General. The money was cool, but I don't want to. I could not be here tomorrow. Yeah, I could clock out and be okay and be fine.
Yes, I like to do things that I'm a part of to where it don't even feel like a job.
Yes.
And I feel like
that's what I was trying to see.
More fulfilled, like you doing stuff you get paid for. You like, you're not gonna pay for that. That was fun.
Yes.
That was fun. That's very important. You're more energized that way. You're more inspired that way.
Yep.
And life is just 10 times better.
You know what they say? Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. Yes.
So.
Yes. So you would say these 6 years flew by fast?
Yes, indeed.
Really?
Yeah, I be trying to, like, whenever I do stuff, like, for example, I didn't been to LA and performed at the Laugh Factory multiple times. I performed at the Joy Theater I didn't shot a special at Cafe Istanbul, sold out. And so it's like whenever I do those things, I be like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
But then again, whenever I get, depressed and be like, damn, I feel stagnant. I be like, I gotta remind myself, bro, I done did some stuff. I done did some stuff that people ain't never did before. So
you're so young.
And I'm young.
You're so young.
So I be having to remind myself that. But yeah, time. I definitely feel like time has flew because I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're having fun, you don't even realize what you're doing. Actually, you don't even be in time, kind of.
And I forgot who said this, but this kind of relates to me. Like whenever I'm not having fun with it, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm having fun with doing comedy, I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, even when I'm at the open mics, like I told you, like it'd be cringe for me to watch my tapes and stuff, but sometimes when I'm at open mics, I'd be like, man, it's another open mic. But when I get on stage, it's time to have fun. So you just got to keep having fun.
Do you feel like sometimes it's kind of hard to measure your growth? Do you struggle with that as a creative?
I mean, me personally, I try to say like, I just want to elevate, by the year. Like I don't want to be in the same place I am. Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm living in the same house. Like I still my grandparents, but it's like okay. One year I performed at the Laugh Factory. Next year I performed at the Joy Theater. That's an accomplishment. That's growth, if you ask me. So as long as like I try to take like little bitty pieces of growth. But not even little bitty pieces, just growth and just in general. If I feel like that's a stage of growth, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's a stage.
I'm happy with have I gotten funnier by the year? Right. I'm cool with that.
Have I evolved?
Have I evolved? That's what I take into it.
So would you say your way of writing has evolved?
Yeah.
In what ways?
So like I said, when I shot my first special in 2021. No, I shot it in 2022. Yeah, I shot it in 2022. And I was doing comedy up until 2022. I was doing comedy for about 4 years. And a lot of my material was like family stuff. Or my perception of, stuff like me being in school, me being in college, or me feeling like I'm getting older. Just a lot of stuff like, I feel like it was young stuff that I was talking about, like like I said, a lot of family stuff that I was talking about. But now the material that I'm working on now is like my personal experiences with just stuff that I experienced in life.
Yeah.
Like the swingers convention and and the dude, trying to holler at me and all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. You got to come to a show and watch. But yeah, like nowadays, like I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. So, and it's probably what I'm gonna be talking about like later on in life, like as I'm getting older. So, yeah.
I think as you continue to grow more and evolve in your person, you'll talk more about you in depth.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw
deeper stuff. That's what I aspired. Like I was telling a peer of mine, comedian. She's a comedian as well. I was telling her like I feel like the stuff that I talk about now, like it's on some 24-year-old type shit. Like I'm talking about stuff that I only go through as a 24-year-old. I'm not talking about nothing deep.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I get older, I don't have a message when it comes to my comedy. Like I just talk about my experience, but maybe later on I might have a message that I actually want to, give. Maybe it's going to be a message in my comedy, as I get older.
Yeah, that's deep within.
I'm still growing as a person, as a 24-year-old. So.
Yeah, and as time progresses, like it will get deeper and deeper. Mm-hmm. You continue to know yourself. It's kind of crazy how we walk as creatives and our personal journey kind of bleeds into our work. It kind of shows like where we're at in that stage in our life, how deep we're within ourselves, and how we felt about ourselves. Yeah,
that's why I always see like, when it comes to my specials, like I'm probably going to shoot a special every 4 years, because I feel like 4 years is a good time to.
It's a mark.
That's like I feel like you grow in between like 4. I feel like high school was like. That's 4 years. That's what I'm saying. That was an era. High school was 4 years. I feel like I evolved as a person from freshman year to senior year. So that's how I'm treating whenever I shoot my specials. 4 years, each 4 years from now. So
kind of like the highlights up and down. It's like the overall picture of what happened. Yeah. Want to touch on something else.
We touching on a lot up in here. Just to let y'all know, we're touching on a lot.
So but I also want to know that you may not think you have a message right now in your 24 shit, but I think every session or show the jokes kind of tell a story overall. You may not think it translates that way, but it definitely does. Like the comedy show I went to, I was able to draw something out of each comedian, and you don't know how you innately show your values in the way you speak, the way you do jokes, the way you interact. So even now, you at like just starting off, it definitely still tells a message.
For sure, I agree.
You can show about how much interaction you have, how many fans you like see, what type of fans that you attract as well. That kind of shows like who you are and what you're about.
I agree.
Yeah. So next, I want to talk about GotNextProductions. So what is that?
So GotNextProductions is really just pieces of paper right now. Okay. It's really just it's solidified. I got the papers from the government. Yeah, it's a LLC.
Frame that thing.
Yeah. It's just pieces of paper right now, but it's I hope for it to grow into like a production company. So what made me go out and get a LLC was because one of my favorite comedians is Kevin Hart. Yeah, and like he took comedy to a whole nother level, numbers wise and just business wise. Yeah, business wise and all that. So when I saw that he had Heartbeat Productions, I was like, okay, maybe I need to have a production company. And what's the start of that? Go and get an LLC. So I haven't hired anybody yet, but that's the goal. And also the goal is to, produce other people's comedy specials, podcasts, and, also produce my own, because I want to be the person making all the money.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I think at the end of the day, it's about finding a way to uplift your community.
Yes. Yeah, hell yeah.
Paving a way.
Putting people on. I like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, there's no reason to be stingy because we all can eat out here.
Right. Especially if I put you on and you have a successful whatever movie, podcast, comedy special. First of all, you making yourself some money and you helping make me some money because I'm producing it.
It's a win-win.
Right.
It's a win-win.
So that's my goal with GotNextProductions.
That's cool. I want to touch on individual. I guess it's words of encouragement. Like everybody has their own lane. How you present jokes may not be how the next person does, and because you have your own specific way, you're not really losing out. Right. And I think that's very important. Being in the game in general is just staying true to who you are. The moment you try to mimic other styles and like take techniques and stuff, that's when you become watered down. And it's all about the money. If somebody came out to see you, but you performing like somebody else, they could have just went to go see that person. The real version. So being like a carbon copy, watered down version. I done seen that too within comedy. I done seen somebody do a whole like word for word set of a mainstream comedian. It's not. It's not right. So, and because it's their jokes, it's not told the same. Right. Right. It don't hit the same. It don't hit the same. Like one thing, like with Kevin Hart specifically, is his voice. Right. You make him do his jokes, you can't do his voice. Even his mannerisms and all that. Yeah. Exactly. Like find your own thing. Your own be yourself. That's what I always tell newer comedians, and especially comedians that's been doing it at a lesser time than me. Just be yourself and have fun. Yeah. That's the two most important things when it comes to doing comedy. Just be yourself and have fun. So what do you think you bring to the table as a comedian? Like, what's your personal thing going on? I don't really think I have a personal thing. I just think that I just whatever I just think about all the stuff that I talk about is me personally, and it's like it's kind of relatable. And in fact, like I have a joke about being bald. A lot of people, a lot of men then lost their hair. Anybody that's bald, then lost their hair. But I also talk about, not being as financially stable. You got people that have jobs that still consider themselves broke. Exactly. So I talk about stuff that I grew through, and people can relate to it. So I think I bring to the table relatability. Relatability. We love it. Yes. That's why we listen to music. You can relate to the music. So that's what I like to bring. Yes. let's see what else we can touch on. How has starting your own company benefited you? I know it's in the beginning phase.
Yeah, in the beginning. It looked like I'm doing something. That's what it look. That's all it's doing right now. They be like, Troy, you got a production company? Yeah, it ain't making no money right now, but I mean, it's cool. So right now, right now I'm just building, relationships with people right now that I maybe can holler at and hire down the line. So that's all I'm doing right now. It's and it's not even necessarily a hard part, but it's the most important part. Just starting the business, just starting the LLC, just getting the LLC. That is done already.
Exactly.
So when I have that money, I can go and hire whoever I want, and so that's all it is right now.
You'll be covered in a different way of just doing it out of your pocket. It's just different. It's different. It solidifies it.
Yep.
It's serious.
Yes. Yep. It's solidified.
It's serious. So, what are some lessons that you learned being a comedian throughout your 6-year track?
Lessons I have learned.
Things you've taken away. Things you will never do again on stage.
I can say this because I just made the mistake of doing it, but like I was having an okay set at one of my shows, and during my set I was just like, I don't like y'all. I was just like, you know what? I don't like y'all. And that was a mistake of mine because I didn't feel like I was doing good, but doing as doing good how I usually do. And that, like I said, that was a mistake of mine because, every audience is different. Like even after I said, I don't like y'all and all that, after my set, people told me, man, you was funny as hell. You good, keep going. And that I said that was a mistake of mine because, you never let the audience see, that you feel like you're not doing good. Just keep doing your jokes. Like you said, reading the room is very important because, like, if I saw, if I noticed, okay, well, I don't think I'm doing good right now. I'm not getting the laughs how I usually get the laughs with these jokes. Just try something different. Don't get mad at the audience because they not laughing how you want them to laugh. Just try something else.
Because it's their perspective. At the end of the day, you
perform for them. So just try not to get discouraged when you're on stage. Is what I have learned. Because every now and then I do even this is another example. I just hosted this show Saturday, and the audience was packed. It was a lot of people in the building at Comedy House, but their energy was low. So I'm the host, and I feel like it's my job to keep the energy up. So I'm coming out there doing 15, and I'm getting good pops every now and then with my material, but it's like they really laughing at my crowd work. So as the show went on, the comedian after me, they didn't treat him good. Like at least he didn't feel like he was doing, like I said, how we feel like we didn't did these jokes plenty of times in plenty of rooms, and we done got plenty of laughs. So when you come in contact with an audience that's not laughing as much, you're like, damn, what these people want from me?
Right. Yeah.
So so it's like the message is, don't let them get that out of you. Don't let them, know they beating you up.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Just keep going your jokes because you only got like 10, 15 minutes. So after your 10, 15 minutes is up, it's over with. On to the next show. You probably got a show a couple days after that, or the next day, or next after they leave. So just don't let the audience know that they getting the best of you. Just keep doing your thing because you getting paid. You got their money.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Don't let them feel like they got you down and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, because maybe you just need to try something else, or do some crowd work or something like that, or do something different.
And I think in those moments where you have a low energy crowd, it kind of challenges you to kind of think on the spot and say, how can I divert?
Yes, use it. Think about it like that. Like use that. Okay, maybe you can work on something new that you've been wanting to do since they're not laughing at you you'll guarantee hitters, then try something new. Like maybe they don't even deserve the A1s. Yeah, yeah.
Mid.
Yeah. And maybe they might, and maybe they like the mid. Maybe the mid crowd might like the mid juice.
Exactly.
So that's
yes,
most definitely.
That's really cool. That's really cool. When I was at the comedy show about 2 weeks ago, I noticed how the host was, like you said, trying to amp up the crowd for the next one, kind of to keep them engaged. So when do you think is the best time to perform when you have like a spread out of different comedians in order? Like, do you prefer the beginning, middle, or end?
Okay, you gotta let me know what you mean. You saying like as the host or just a comedian in general, just being in the lineup? Would you rather go in the beginning, middle, or end?
As a comedian, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to stuff like that, I really don't care where I go up in the lineup. Like I always hear comedians say, "Man, they got me before this person. They got me going first." Like I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care really. Like I don't care. I feel like whenever you go up, as long as you do a good job, mission complete. I don't really care when I go up because you could go. I could pick if they be like Troy, where you want to go up. I say I could pick last. I say I could pick first or in the middle, and I don't do as good. It could happen in any of those situations. It could happen in any order. Yeah. So as long as I'm doing good, I don't care when I go up.
And I'm glad you said that because me seeing the lineup, I wouldn't care about what order because I remember the good ones.
Right.
I remember the jokes, the mannerisms.
Yep.
The voice variation.
You gonna remember.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any next projects coming up soon or any performances coming up?
So I produce a show in Arabic every first Thursday of the month. I co-host and I co-produce with my dog Ben Bauman. We produce a show every first Thursday of the month at P-Robe's Whiskey Bayou. It's called Tell Me a Joke.
Okay.
Because that's what people tell us when they hear we comedians. So if y'all not doing it on September 5th, hope y'all come out and come see the show. Like I said, we do it every first Thursday. And I'm saying that now because at the end of the year, I ain't say nothing to nobody else about this, but a lot of people don't come out to the show because it's in Arabic and it's so far. So we giving it to the end of the year.
Okay.
So if nobody come out before the year over, it's done. So I need y'all to come out and support local comedy, and just support other stuff that I'm working on. I'm doing this. Like I said, I don't want to say a podcast, but it's like just follow me on follow my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have the my comedy special out. It's called Got Next on there. It got 2,600 views on there. So y'all keep watching that for me. And just follow me on all social media and just keep up with me, keep supporting. Really, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That you're staying active.
Yeah, got to, because they'll forget about you.
Real quick.
Yeah, they'll forget about you. Yeah, Troy who?
Troy.
Right. Huh? Yeah, right. Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another question. This one is about the comedy world in general. Since there's a rise in AI, and, copying essences and voices, like how do you feel about that? How are you as a comedian going to navigate through that?
That's crazy that you asked that, Sue. I've heard comedians saying they use the AIs for not necessarily to help them with their jokes, but like they've played with it a little, just to see what it's about. Yeah, just to see what it's about. And I never did it until a couple of days ago, and I even asked AI. I was like, "Will AI affect stand-up comedy?" I said, "Will it?" I'm gonna tell you what it said. I said, "Well, will AI hurt stand-up comedy?" And even AI itself said it's not gonna hurt stand-up comedy because stand-up comedy, you have to see stand-up comedy live, and of course the AI can, I didn't see, me and my partners didn't play with AI like a lot. We didn't seen them do sets from, you know, comedians that then passed away.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it sounds like them, and the joke probably might be something they talk about, but we don't know for sure that that's what it is. And I ain't gonna lie, AI is not that funny to me.
Nah.
AI is not that funny to me. You can't even really. Yeah, it's yes. So it's. I don't feel like AI is gonna hurt comedy, especially because I just asked her. So I just.
Right. She know everything.
Yeah. And I'm saying she, but I don't know what it is. So I must call her a she. Yeah, whatever it is. She said we good. She said we straight. So y'all keep supporting stand-up comedy, especially local comedy, because a lot of people be trying to say, you know, a lot of people don't remember that the mainstream people that you look up to this day started somewhere. So please support local.
Nowhere, but, you know.
They started off as locals first. Yeah. So keep supporting local comedy.
And I feel like locals are the funniest.
Yeah.
For real. I really think so. But any closing remarks, any last thing you want to say before we wrap up?
Y'all keep supporting Pixel Cinema. Keep supporting me. Follow us on all social media. And see y'all next time.
And what's your social media?
Troy Got Next.
Gotcha. All right.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank y'all so much. Please tune in for the next video.
And y'all gotta have me back.
Yes,
y'all gotta have me back.
Of course.
When y'all can't find a guest, just come have me. Just tell me to pull up.
Okay?
Yes.
Sure, part 2.
All right.
It was great having you.
Devin, thank you for having me.